Hey everyone, Gaijin Goombah here. In the last video, we were talking about a dream come true in the world of gaming for me. Bowser's Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey, a modern Mario stage so chock full of Nintendo's domestic folklore and history that we actually had to make it a two-parter. Mario's Tanuki suit and the Japanese Isles in Mario 3 were one thing, but this was on a whole different level. In fact, there was so much to talk about that... where were we exactly?
I remember you were incoherently screaming something about Goombas and Jingasa hats, but I got a little blindsided after the video got unjustifiably demonetized only to have it restored 24 hours later. You know, after most people saw it. Weren't you talking about costumes or something?
Oh, that's right, Mario Sonata Clan armor. Man, that one was actually been around since Mario Run, but yeah, in case you missed that episode, go check it out. Otherwise, let's pick up where we left off. Like every other kingdom in Mario Odyssey, there's another more expensive costume that you can purchase with the kingdom-specific coins. And in Bowser's Kingdom, that was the Hoppy outfit.
A lot of you guys might have recognized this costume from Japanese festivals or matsuris, and you'd be 100% correct. In the modern era, Happy are used to symbolize organizations and events during times of celebration, but they weren't always this festive.
Yep. Originally, they acted as little more than lowly uniforms. See, back in the day, house servants would wear brown Happy with the mon or emblem of the family which they served on their back. Not exactly prison clothing, but it did give the air of ownership. However, in time, the Happy quickly began to be utilized by way more than just servants. Firefighters began to wear them as a protective layer under their normal clothing. Businesses began to wear them as a way to not only identify but advertise their brand. Nowadays, they're no longer plain dreary outfits that they once were. Now, their vibrant colors and patterns on top of bright blue, red, and even black personify the joyous nature of festivals themselves.
On the topic of purchasable items in the shop, there's an item that's been getting a lot of attention in this kingdom. Not only can you buy it, but there's a huge row of them outside the shop, a few of them are possessable acting as a game mechanic, and they even have their own prominent section in the kingdom's brochure. These are Jizo statues, and unlike a lot of cultural references in this game which interpret cultural icons into Mario's world, this one is pulled lock, stock, and barrel from our own. Jizo is a bodhisattva of Mahayana Buddhism who openly chose not to gain nirvana and exit the karmic wheel of existence so he could teach Buddhism to all 6 realms of existence: human, animal, god, demigod, ghost, and hell. He's widely known as the protector of children in the afterlife, as children typically can't produce enough good karma to cross the Sanzu River into the afterlife.
The what river now?
The Sanzu River. Basically think Buddhist river Styx. Typically, demons prey on these children stuck in limbo, but Jizo protects them and reads the children's sutras to ease their souls while also walking with his Shakujo jingle staff, alerting his presence to any in need.
Wait, haven't we seen this before?
Yep, Super Mario 3's Tanuki suit statue. Yeah, this cultural reference has been in the franchise for quite some time now. But in Odyssey, the statue is pulled right from its real-life equivalent. A smaller, childlike appearance to convey his association with deceased children, his Shakujo staff, and finally, a red bib that not only connects him to children, but the color red is believed to exorcise evil. And interestingly enough, he's also become a sort of saint for travelers, which is why you'll often see Jizo statues along old roads. And it's believed that Tanuki would take advantage of these statues and transform into them if they saw people coming. Which is where I suppose Mario 3 got the idea from. What's next?
Well, you'd think we'd be done with the shop by now, right? But nope, because behind it lies another major cultural reference. Once you put on the samurai outfit and talk to the doorman, he unlocks the bonus room that has 8-bit Mario traversing a traditional folding screen, complete with bonsai and Pokyo in the background. Now these screens were known as Boboo, or wind walls, a concept that was actually imported from China. During the Nara period in 646 AD, Japan's elite began utilizing the Boboo design in their home as many traditional Japanese houses were very open air, almost to the point that there were barely any hard walls at all. So when harsh winds would sweep the lands, it became a pretty obnoxious chore to make sure everything within your home didn't get knocked over. Luckily, the Boboo were both strong enough to keep drafts out, yet foldable, which allowed for easy storage when they weren't needed. But notice I said Japan's elite, and this is because the first Boboo were used and reserved for the imperial court, which were made out of pure silk and precious metals. However, by the Muromachi period, they became far more commonplace in the homes of the general public, having been made of simple paper. But regardless of what material it's made from, each Boboo was decorated with the simplicities of natural life, ranging from scenes of flowers and plants, to animals, to even people, just like the Boboo that Mario crosses in order to pick up yet another moon.
Finally, once you exit the island the gift shop sits on, you'll come to our absolute favorite cultural reference in this kingdom. Statues of Bowser in the likeness of the brother gods of Thunder and Wind, Raijin and Fujin. Gaijin would use his circle of drums to create massive bolts of lightning and claps of thunder, while his brother Fujin would create hurricanes using his bag of winds. The two brothers would often compete with each other to see who could outproduce who, which would leave the land and its people suffering terrible storms and typhoons. However, despite their appearance and violent actions, Fujin and Gaijin are believed to be benevolent, blessing the land that their storms hit to produce bountiful harvests. They're even enshrined in multiple locations across the country, such as Kaminarimon or the Thunder Gate at Sensoji Temple. Heck, even the position of Fujin and Gaijin are the same in-game as they are at Sensoji.
And then for some reason there's a koi pond. Yeah, break the two Bowser statues and you run into a zero-gravity koi pond with not cheap-cheeps, but real freaking koi fish, as well as 2 moons to collect, of course. And that just begs the question, why are koi so freaking important not only in Japan, but other places like China? They're not very bright fish and they sure don't taste very good, yet they've been bred for color mutations over 1,000 years ago, resulting in dozens and dozens of different breeds. So I've been asking myself, what is it about this derpy little fish that makes it so important? Well, check this out. Koi are one of the most hardy species of fish in the entire world. They have the ability to resist the majority of diseases and parasites that plague most fish, and they can live just as long as humans, if not longer. Though it's been scrutinized, there was a tale of a Scarlet Koi named Hanako that was believed to have lived for over 225 years. And it's because of that hardiness they've become symbols of longevity, endurance, and perseverance.
There's even a Chinese proverb that states that if a koi can swim up the Yellow River at Hunan, defying all odds and leaps over the Dragon's Gate, it can turn into a powerful dragon. Another great example of koi symbolism with endurance, but see Pokemon for further proof of that concept.
And speaking of endurance, if you can Ninja Warrior your way up the outer wall to the keep, you're greeted with this.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I had no idea where to get started with this. The no Bodi Flags, the Chochin Lanterns, or the piled up kanji between the two of them.
Well, let's not make this overly complicated. Chochin Lanterns are simple enough. Developed from Chinese inspiration in the Muromachi period, their use ranged from festivities to advertising to even military use, all of which seem to be utilized by Bowser here. No Bodi Flags are also used for advertising, promotion, or just general announcements to the public, and again, something that Bowser loves doing in this game. But what makes all these self-promotional items so interesting is what's written on them. On most of Bowser's Nobody Flags is the kanji for Kotobuki, or long life, as well as a symbol. However, the Chochin Lanterns is where the kanji gets really creative, because even though it also has Kotobuki, underneath it has 2 other characters, Sora and Ha, meaning sky or heaven and winning respectively by themselves. However, when you put them together, they can be read as Koopa, Bowser's Japanese name.
Wait, are we looking at Bowser's official Japanese written name? And that these lanterns read long life to Koopa?
It's very possible, my dude. I'm sure Nintendo would never comment on it, but it's not exactly a no either. Finally, we have the colossal showdown between Mario and Cappy versus the Brutals. And I say colossal because they're trouncing around in a giant mech.
Let me guess, this has something to do with Super Robot Wars or Gundam.
Actually, no, not at all. This reference actually heralds hundreds of years before mecha anime was ever a thing. The predominantly wooden exterior and clockwork nature of the Mecha Brutal is extremely similar to an ancient Japanese automata called a karakuri puppet. And these range from zashiki karakuri or floor seat puppets used at home, to butai karakuri, which were puppets used for stage work, to gigantic dashi karakuri or mountain carts, which were used to tell complex stories during festivals using multiple characters and scenes. All done via basic clockwork components, cams, and pull strings. Though they were made centuries back, karakuri are capable of complex and subtle movements like presenting tea and taking the cup back, or even firing an arrow with incredible precision. Oh, and did I mention that this particular 200-year-old automata fires all 4 of its arrows as well as follow human-like head movements for aiming? Seems like Japan was neck-deep in robotics long before the advent of anime.
Good grief, all of that in one level?
And to be honest, that's still not everything.
What?
But I think I better wrap it up for now. However, I encourage all of you guys to go through not only Bowser's Kingdom, but all of the kingdoms to see what kind of cultural inspirations you can find within this game. And there's plenty more to find, so I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you for watching, everyone. Like I said before, be sure to check out part 1 of this miniseries if you haven't. There's a lot you might have missed, but there's also a multitude of other videos I've done talking about the Mario franchise here on my channel, as well as the Game Theorist channel over the last 5 years. But be sure to subscribe to never miss out on any of my newest videos, and until next time everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.